Hey everyone, ready to get your indoor flying game on?
Always. Indoor season is the best.
Right, and we've got to talk about this RC Factory Clik 25. It's everywhere lately, so for those pilots out there looking to their next indoor champion, this deep dive is for you.
We're diving into why the Clik 25 is causing such a buzz.
Exactly. What makes it so special? Well, first off, it's built for those tight spaces and slower flight characteristics you need indoors. And the EPP foam they use for the airframe genius.
It's not just lightweight, but super durable. Those wall bumps, no problem. EPP bounces right back.
Like it never happened. So we've got durability, but how does that translate to actual performance in the air, especially indoors?
The Clik 25 is designed for both precision flying and 3D aerobatics, which means it needs to be incredibly agile. And the EPP foam actually contributes to that agility. It provides this flexibility that you don't get with stiffer materials, allowing the plane to bend and flex slightly during maneuvers.
Interesting. So it's not just about being tough, it's about having the right kind of give.
Exactly. And this is especially important for indoor flying, where you're often performing tight turns and quick changes in direction.
It's a different beast than outdoor flying, that's for sure. So agility and durability covered. But for those who haven't flown the Clik 25, what's it actually like in the air?
It's a dream at low speeds. And that's crucial for indoor flying. You don't have a ton of space, so you're not trying to break any speed records. It's about control.
Maneuverability over everything makes sense.
And the Clik 25 delivers. It's really stable at those lower speeds, which makes it much easier to perform intricate maneuvers without stalling out.
Got it. So for our listeners who are ready to get this bird in the air, let's break down the equipment. What do we need to unleash the Clik 25's full potential?
All right, starting with the motor, aim for a 60 to 100 watt brushless outrunner. This provides a good balance of power and weight for the Clik 25.
Okay, so nothing too crazy, but enough juice to get it moving.
Exactly. You want that snappy performance for 3D maneuvers, but you don't want to overpower it, especially in a confined space.
All right, we got to be mindful of those walls. Now, to manage that power, I'm guessing we need a decent ESC.
You got it. A 6 to 12 amp ESC should do the trick.
And of course, servos. Can't forget about those. What should we be looking at there?
For the Clik 25, you'll want 3 5 to 6 gram servos.
Is there a reason for that specific range? Why not just go as light as possible?
It's a balancing act, really. You want servos that are responsive enough to handle the Clik 25's agility, but you also don't want to add unnecessary weight. Every gram counts.
Makes sense. You don't want to make it sluggish. All right, so we've got the motor, ESC, and servos. What about a prop?
A GWS 8x4 or 9x4.7 slow fly prop will work great. And to keep it all powered up, a 2S Lipo battery in the 250 to 450 millilar range.
That'll give you a good chunk of flight time without weighing it down. And hey, for anyone looking to grab all this gear, you can find it over at AerobatX.
They've got you covered. They have all the equipment we just talked about perfectly matched to the Clik 25.
They really make it easy to get started. Speaking of getting started, RC Factory doesn't just offer the Clik 25, right? They have a whole lineup for different flying styles, like the Edge 540 V3, for example. Now, that's a whole other beast.
It is. If you're looking to step up from the Clik 25, maybe venture outdoors a bit, the Edge 540 V3 is definitely worth a look.
It's definitely geared towards more experienced pilots, right?
It is. The Edge 540 V3 is designed for outdoor 3D flying, so it's a bit larger and more powerful than the Clik 25.
We're talking a 960 millimeter wingspan and a weight of around 220 grams. Not exactly an indoor flyer. So it's not your beginner's plane. This one's for pilots who are ready to handle a bit more power and size.
Exactly. It's designed to handle windier conditions and perform more aggressive maneuvers. Think high-energy aerobatics.
All right, so I've got the Clik 25 for indoor precision, the Edge 540 V3 for outdoor 3D. But what about those pilots who live for extreme maneuvers?
You're talking about the Crack 55 crowd. They're a different breed.
For good reason. That plane has a reputation for being almost ridiculously agile.
It really is something else. Insane roll rates, incredible vertical performance. It's designed for those who want to push the limits of what's possible in 3D flight.
And it's built tough, right? I've heard it can take a beating.
Oh yeah, it's incredibly robust. They use some pretty unique construction techniques with the Crack. It's super lightweight, but still incredibly strong.
So you've got that balance of agility and durability. What's the magic recipe? How do they do it?
RC Factory seems to have this knack for pushing the boundaries of material science. They're always experimenting with new materials and designs.
And it shows. I mean, they've really outdone themselves with the Crack Yak. It's like they took the best of the Clik 25 and the Edge 540 V3 and cranked it up a notch, or maybe 10.
It's definitely in a league of its own. But remember, this isn't a plane you just pick up and fly. It demands a high level of skill and control.
It's not for the faint of heart.
Exactly. So for our listeners who are thinking about adding one of these RC Factory models to their hangar, what are some key things they should consider before making a decision?
Well, experience level is a big one, obviously. Don't jump into the deep end if you're just starting out.
Right, start with a model that aligns with your current skill level. And think about your flying style, too. What gets you excited about RC flight?
Some pilots love the precision of indoor flying, while others crave the freedom of open spaces.
Exactly. And you need to make sure you have access to appropriate flying areas. You don't want to be flying a Crack Yak 55 in your living room. Trust me.
Definitely not, unless you have a very understanding family. But seriously, it's about finding that perfect match between your skills, your flying style, and the plane itself.
And that's where AerobatX comes in. They have a great selection of RC Factory models for every skill level. Plus, their website has tons of information to help you make the right choice.
They really seem to get it. They're not just trying to sell you a plane, they want to make sure you have a good experience.
And that's what it's all about, finding the right plane and the right gear to have an awesome time flying.
It's true. They make it easy to navigate the world of RC and find the perfect setup. It's not just about the plane either. Having the right equipment makes a huge difference.
Huge. It's like you wouldn't use a wrench to hammer in a nail, right? Each plane needs that specific setup to really shine.
Exactly. And the cool thing is, with RC, you can fine-tune and tweak until you find that sweet spot. It's all part of the fun.
For sure. And speaking of finding the perfect fit, we got to talk about one more RC Factory model.
Yeah.
The Flash. If you're all about speed, this one's calling your name.
Now we're talking. This isn't about slow and controlled. This is pure adrenaline, built for speed demons.
It's a favorite for pylon racing or just those who love ripping through the air. That aerodynamic design, it's not just for looks, it cuts through the air like butter.
Sleek. So for those who want to take their need for speed outdoors, this one can handle a bit of wind.
Absolutely. Unlike some indoor models, the Flash is built to handle those windier conditions you might find outdoors.
So there you have it, folks. We've gone from the precise Clik 25 to the powerful Edge 540 V3 to the lightning-fast Flash. RC Factory really does have something for every pilot.
They do. No matter your skill level or flying style, there's an RC Factory plane out there for you. And the best part, you can find them all at AerobatX.
They've got your back from finding the perfect plane to getting it in the air. So go check them out, and happy flying, everyone.
Happy flying.